Hey fellow Schneider drivers, Friendly Bill coming at you. This is going to be a quick video, just sort of an update. I don't have a real topic, so I'm not going to waste your mind with waste your time or waste your mind with blabbering for 50 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. I know when I watch videos, I want the subject to get gotten to, and I want to move on. I don't want to hear what you had for lunch. I don't want to hear about all your little aches and pains and stuff like that. I don't want to hear it. But here's what's going on. We all know what's going on with the virus. I mean, you can get a plethora of information on the internet. So I'm not going to go into great detail about that. But, just wash your hands, social distancing. I'm not giving anybody big hugs and open mouth kisses or anything like that. But here's the thing. As some of you know, I'm an OTR driver. I stay out on the road for about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, and then I go home and I get my kids. My ex-wife and I have joint custody. I get my kids and we just party hardy. But there's, because of the virus, my kids live in Washington State, and Washington State has, the second most confirmed cases in the United States. I don't know, they have a lot of confirmed cases. So they shut down the schools, the restaurants. They've even shut down public parks. They shut down all the swimming pools, and even getting a hotel room is difficult. So my ex-wife and I had a discussion, and we just kind of came to the conclusion that the kids are safest where they're at. They're safest in their home with their mom. They're still, they do, a little homeschooling and stuff. But the kids right now, they're safe. They're taken care of. We've got money and food and everything's taken care of. So why should I come and disrupt this whole thing? We just talked about it. It just kind of made sense for me to skip this time, and I'll get them whenever I want in April. So that's what we're doing. Now, what's that mean for the kids? The kids, they're a little bit disappointed. They're disappointed. We have a good time. I'm disappointed, but sometimes you have to make tough decisions in for what's best for everybody, not necessarily yourself. So, it was a tough decision, but I'm going to forego my time with them this month, which means I'm going to be on the road for about 7 weeks straight. Okay? I think that might be the longest I've ever been on the road. I don't know. I've done close to it before. I've done close to 2 months before. I can't really remember. It's been a while. So 7 weeks on the road straight. It's gonna be tough. I mean, I eat as healthy as I can. I'm still buying fresh fruit. They're packaging the apples now at the TA in their own little bags. So I got 4 apples and they're all in their own little bags. So I bought some groceries. I bought cereal and milk, and I got plenty of water, and I'm stocking up. But I'm going to be on the road for 7 weeks. I'm going to try to keep making videos. I want them to be informative and helpful. The March supplement to your permit books is out. So you want to get the March supplement to the permit books. I think it has like 4 or 5 pages. It's not tough. You just, 4 or 5 pages. It's just a little update, but you want to do that. I got my updated registration. You want to get your updated cab registration. You don't want to get a ticket, so get your updated cab registration, your updated March supplements. Get all, your permit book is your friend. It can be your enemy if you start ignoring it. So nobody wants to get a ticket. I don't want you to get a ticket. I've gotten a few tickets, but I've been pretty focused on that permit book, keeping it updated. I haven't got a ticket for the permit book, but I did get one actually. I did get one for I'm in a brand new truck, and when they registered the truck originally, they only registered it for a month. So after a month, my registration was expired, and they gave me a ticket. That's the DOT's job, is to write tickets. So that being said, I'm going to be on the road for 7 weeks. I love your comments. I love Schneider drivers. I had the privilege to talk to 2 brand new drivers in the Salt Lake City. The one guy, he was still getting his truck. The other guy had gotten his truck, but he had never had a single trip. And he had some questions. I was happy to help him. You know, he was asking me questions about how to see all the turns and stuff on the navigation system. So I showed him how to do that. And then I was walking back to my truck. I was getting ready to leave, and he's like, hey, you know, and he had some questions about the weather app. And he was doing a trip from Salt Lake City up to Spokane, and there's mountains, and it showed snow. And he was really concerned about that. And, you know, he said, I'm thinking about taking this alternate route. And I said, you know, I've been driving for Schneider for a while, and you can take alternate routes. You can do that. You're the captain of the ship. But I said, the routing that Schneider provides is usually the best routing. So being new, I think you should probably stick to the Schneider routing. You know, don't get too creative. I mean, you haven't even done a single trip yet, and you're already talking about taking alternate routes. You know, I just said, you know, I understand you want to be safe and stuff, but, you know, it's routed that way for a reason. You know, if you take an alternate route, how do you know there's not a low bridge, or how do you know there's a road that's not, you know, a weight limit, or, you know, I mean, there's so many things that you don't know. Unless, I mean, even if you study your map, you still don't know all that stuff necessarily. So I suggested you just take the route. But it was his first trip. I remember my first trip. I was nervous, very nervous, excited, but you know, that was a long time ago. I've only been driving for 3.5 years. I'm not an expert. I'm not a recruiter. I'm not a trucker's coach. I don't claim to be any of those things. I'm just a driver who wants to help other drivers. You know, I learn something new every day, and that's why I like the comment. Sometimes I get a comment that says, you know, hey, and I'm like, wow, you know, I didn't know that. I just learned something, you know, from the comment. So that being said, if you see me on the road, Schneider drivers or other drivers, and if you're cool, you know, let's talk. You know, I'm not trying to be famous. My channel will never be huge. It's for Schneider drivers, and you know, I don't want to be famous, that's for sure. Some of these YouTubers have become kind of famous, and when people see them on the road, not everybody likes them. There's some YouTube truckers that people don't like, and if you know, being famous, you could become infamous, and if you become infamous, then the life on the road is going to become difficult. So I don't want to be famous. You know, I'm just a driver who likes making YouTube videos. It's fun for me. So that being said, Schneider drivers, you rock, and I'll see you on the road, at least for, you know, another 5 weeks. I'll be on the road. Catch you on the flip-flop.